Hey everybody, welcome back. Monday Morning Briefing, episode number 132, and it's Thursday, December the 12th. We're already halfway through December. This little Christmas season has been a little different, and I didn't really realize it until after the Black Friday sale that we just had. But the way Thanksgiving fell, it feels like we went from Thanksgiving to Christmas. There's not really a big gap, or doesn't feel like there's a big gap, just because of the way the Thanksgiving holiday fell in November. Right in the middle, I guess Sunday of that sale was December the 1st, which usually we have a few days of November left after that sale. So it just feels a little rushed now. But I'm hoping you're not feeling that too bad in your shop as far as trying to get all your orders done, because we are down to the wire already. And obviously, you know, we've been busy in the shop with the sale for you guys. I want to thank everybody that took part in that sale, and hopefully you took the opportunity to grab those patterns that you've been kind of eyeing and didn't really need right at the moment, but a project you wanted to make. And hopefully you got a chance to go ahead and grab those patterns at a discounted price that weekend. I want to thank everybody that did participate, because it was a really good sale. It's our biggest event that we do every year, and so we really look forward to it. We try to have some new stuff, which we did, and they seem to go over really well, and so it's just a good end cap to our year, and that way we can kind of round it out. And now we're looking forward to 2025, which we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, the sale went good. We did drop a few new things, as you're maybe aware of if you were around that weekend and kind of watching us on social media and here on YouTube. We did a Christmas ornament. So the first one we've done, as far as I think we're going to make it a yearly thing, but we were kind of crunched for time by the time we actually came up with the idea to when the sale was. We just kind of got some dies that we could get our hands on, but we did just a Christmas tree and a little Christmas tree ball, and we did a video that weekend showing us tooling that so that you could watch that video and tool along with us. I want to thank everybody that had a few people that emailed us and called, and they were like, "That's a great idea. I'm so excited, because when my kids, adult kids get here with grandkids or whatever, we're going to sit around and tool these ornaments. It'll be a fun little thing to do in the leather shop during the Christmas holiday." And so that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping for something that we could all do together, at Christmas time. I'm going to try to get my brother in here. He'll be down for Christmas, maybe my mom, and take a day and come over here to the shop, and we'll all sit around and stamp some Christmas ornaments. It's just kind of something fun to do. But I think next year, me and the girls were talking, I think next year I'll actually draw up a new shape every year for the actual die. So maybe like a Christmas, like a Santa hat, just a few other things. And that way every year it's a different shape, and then of course a new pattern. That pattern is free. You can still get that pattern. I need to look at the numbers and see how many people took advantage of that pattern and went ahead and got it. But you can go to our website at dgsaddlery.com, click on the store, and then underneath the Leathercraft tab, you'll see our free digital downloads page, or free digital patterns. You can go on there and grab that. It's just one sheet of paper. You print it out on your own printer, and you'll have the patterns. You can cut you some out. We did sell material packs of those, but honestly, guys, speaking of material packs, we're down on the bottom shelf now. We're pretty well out of most of our material. We went through a lot of leather in 2024. I was kind of shocked at how much we bought. It wasn't like double what we did in 23, but it was considerably more. And so we usually don't. Our last shipment last year was in September. I think I've mentioned that before. We usually don't make another order until after the first of the year. We do have an order ready, but I don't really want to get that. This time of year, most craftsmen have their material already acquired for all the jobs they've got to do for their Christmas list. And so we don't expect to sell an entire shipment between now and January, and I'd really prefer that not to roll over when we do go into 2025 and have it on our inventory. So we don't really expect to get another load of leather in. I've got leather that I need for our projects, the few that we are going to do here in the shop. But I want to. It seems like everybody's getting their material earlier. So the girls and I talked. We kind of did a quick wrap up as we were kind of packaging and stuff. But we were looking at the number. Everything was great, even with the limited amount of material packs we had. But I started thinking. I've been thinking since last year, or since 23, that Thanksgiving weekend is probably, being 20 years in the custom line of things, I know very well in your shop with deadlines and trying to get everything done, Christmas rush, Thanksgiving weekend's probably too late to start trying to get material for projects. You're always going to have to get that one thing here or there, but the majority of craftsmen in their shops are going to have their material acquired probably by mid-October, if not the end of September. They'll already have the leather they need, the hardware they need, the paints, the dyes, the finishes. Make sure they have everything for that Christmas season, that last quarter. Because it gets tricky trying to order something and you need it by Friday because it's got to ship by next Wednesday and you need time to build it, right? So I've been thinking about that with this Christmas event or this Black Friday event, that next year I think we're going to try something different. We're not going to do away with anything. Like I said, I love the sale, love the event, love what we do, and I think you guys really enjoy that and appreciate that. So we're going to keep it all, but I'm thinking about doing something a little bit different for the material packs so that you have access to those earlier. And so we're going to try to figure something out. I'll dive into more. We're not going to talk about next Christmas. We haven't got to this Christmas season, but next year you'll see something different, I think, when it comes to our Black Friday event next year, just to give you better prepare you for your fall season so that you can acquire the material you need and still get that benefit of that Black Friday sale. So not sure how it's all going to work, but for the material pack portion of that, I think we're going to try to do something there to try to just to set you up better so that you have your stuff earlier so that you got more time. This is the biggest thing when you're doing Christmas season in a custom shop, whatever you're doing, welding or making knives or making hats, whatever you're doing. All craftsmen will tell you want to get started early and get done early because you don't want to be there Christmas Eve trying to finish something. And I know some of y'all out there may be doing that this year. You're just stressing out. Breathe, relax, just keep hitting it every day. Try to get as much as you can done every day, but don't forget to spend time with your family and your friends. It is Christmas holidays. It is a Christmas season. So that's why I always caution you early on in the season, don't take too much. It's easy to do because everybody wants to order something, so it's very easy to overload yourself and then kind of not ruin, but you kind of put a lot of stress on yourself at Christmas time. I've done that. I did it for 20 years. It is a lot. So you want to kind of be sure you leave yourself some bandwidth for the festivities and the time of Christmas with family and friends. So, but thank y'all again for the Black Friday sales. I hope you got everything you needed. Everything went out. We spent all of last week shipping. Claudia and I started like Saturday, just starting on those orders that come in on Friday. We started doing stuff, try to get a jump on it. And then, of course, Robin's been with us. Robin helped us last year with just the Black Friday sale. And so it was very new to her, as far as the way we work in the shop and what's what and all that. So we had to help her a little bit more, but she was very, very helpful. But this year she's been with us, as you know, if you've been on this channel for a while, she's been here since, I think this summer we started bringing her in a couple days a week just to help us with shipping, and that was in preparation of this. So by the time we got to this sale, she knows what the material packs are. She knows kind of when one doesn't kind of look right. She's getting better at judging, the leather as she's packing those, and then what patterns are what and how to package. She's really, really been helpful, and even helping us fix and organize some things that we didn't even know were broken, right? Claudia and I, it's just her and I in here. So we just kind of do what we do, and we're not all the time as organized as we could be. And so when you bring somebody out from the outside in, they kind of say, well, why don't we do this? And that'll make that a little more. And so she's done a lot of that, and that's been very helpful. But yeah, so by the time she got here on Monday, we were rocking and rolling. We started doing orders, and we were almost done by Thursday. And then Friday, we wrapped up the last batch, and so all those orders from the sale have gone out. We've had a few phone calls, something stuck in transit, something's over here, something got lost. There's always going to be something. Anytime this time of season, there's always going to be a hiccup somewhere. There's going to be something somewhere. We're not perfect. The Postal Service isn't perfect. So you're going to have some stuff. I appreciate all y'all's patience, the ones that we've taken care of or helped you with something. But don't ever hesitate to give us a holler or shoot us an email. And our utmost deal is we want to make sure you get your product. But all in all, it's been good. Like, I always tell people on the phone when we do have a package issue stuck with the Postal Service somewhere, with the millions and millions and millions of packages that go across this country every day through all the carriers, it's really phenomenal that we get any of our packages if you really, really think about it, because there is a ton of stuff even if you just look at Amazon alone, there's a ton of stuff crossing this country every day. And, it boggles my mind that we get any of that stuff. So But all in all, it worked out really good. We got everything kind of moving. And so we've just been kind of in the shop getting ready. We do have our fall event or our Christmas event here in downtown this weekend, Saturday at 5:30. So if you're in the area and you want to come to Moulton, Texas and hang out in downtown and do a little wine walk, and that kind of thing, that'll be on Saturday, this Saturday here at 5:30, I think it starts. But it's just a little downtown event. The bar next door, kind of down the street here, they'll have a band over there, and then they'll have a wine walk for all the vendors and businesses in downtown, give away door prizes and all that kind of stuff. We'll have the shop open, and we'll just be mingling. They call it the Mingle on Main. So it's my favorite event. We don't do a lot of local business. We do some stuff for some folks here, and we sell a few things to some people locally, but the majority of our business is for you guys here online and our other leatherhead friends that are across the country and the world. And so, but this weekend, like at this event, we actually do a fair amount of little business, because most of the people in Moulton, being a tiny little town, most people don't work here. They drive out of here in the mornings and they come back in late in the evening. So a lot of times I'm closed. So they don't have a lot of opportunity really to spend in downtown a lot of times. So with an event like this, I'll get a lot of the locals that they finally have a chance. They're going to come in, have a cocktail, visit, look at the shop. I'll give them a tour of the workshop, and they're always pleasant to have in the shop. And they usually buy a T-shirt or something, and they're looking at stuff. And we'll sell some knife sheaths and things like that. So that's what we're getting ready for. So we've spent this week doing just normal orders, daily orders that we've got. And then I've been working on my leather projects. Now that we kind of got the bulk of that done, I've been able to kind of get back on our stuff. And then the girls started yesterday, and the kids started decorating, cleaning the front end and decorating. And I'll give you a little bit of a tour of that here in just a minute. But as far as where I'm at, I'm working on the stair riser still. I've got them pretty well done. I've got the edge work done. We got the antiquing and the oiling done. I actually was oiling these last week when we were packaging, because I've got them kind of spread out behind me here on my benches, and so that's kind of tied up my benches. But I don't really, these things are 4 inches by 59 inches long. I don't have a ton of places I can put these where if I feel safe that they're not going to get something spilled on them or something like that. And so I've just got them over here in my little cubby on the benches, and then I've been oiling them. And the oil that I used on these was this Duff's leather conditioning oil. As you know, and you can go to Duff's Leather Care Products. You can find them online. Maker's Leather Supply sells a bunch of their stuff. I sell some of their stuff. And then there's a lot of places you can get this, and I think you can get it straight from Bob on his website. But really good stuff. As you know, I use olive oil and have for years. And you can debate that amongst yourselves on whether it's bad or good. I've talked to old leatherheads that say both. Some say it's horrible, some say it's good. Use what you want to use. I like olive oil. That's what I use. Don't use extra virgin, just the regular. But I've really been trying out this Duff's leather care because I love all his products. I thought I'm going to try his oil. And so I've been using it for a couple of months now on a lot of little stuff and a lot of other things in the shop. And so the one thing I like about it is the evenness that it goes in. It goes in very even. You don't get a splotchy color, really. It takes more layers to get it darker if you want to go real dark. So keep that in mind. But as you can see on this sterilizer, it's really even. There's not any discoloration. And I probably did 4 coats on these, I think, light coats, just working my way up to the color I wanted. And I'm really liking it. It's a really, really good oil. Highly recommend you get some and try some. Works really good. Bob doesn't pay me a dime to say that. I just really like him and his products, and so we just really, really enjoy them. And I've had people call and say, man, I've heard from so many guys say, don't use olive oil, don't use olive oil. And so, again, that's a debate y'all can debate. I know what works for me, and that's what I'm going to use. But if you're worried about it, use some of this. Or just use neat's foot oil. The only reason I ever quit using neat's foot oil was because the neat's foot oil that I was getting years ago was leaving my new products real splotchy. I was getting an unevenness in color on my saddles in particular. And so that's when I switched to olive oil, and I didn't have that issue anymore. So that's really the only reason. As far as repairs and new stuff too, I don't care. Neat's foot oil is fantastic, especially if you buy a really good neat's foot oil. It's great, but there's a lot of options now. The leather industry is really doing great as far as having some new influx of products and tools and options out there than what we had when I started 20 years ago in my business. And so there's a lot of opportunities out. Try it all. Any oil is going to be better than nothing, right? So just use what you like to use. I may make a full switch here to that Duff stuff. I'm really liking it so far. I might oil one of these saddles completely with it and see how I like it. But so far, I really, really enjoy it. I've also, as I may have mentioned in the last one, I was tooling up some knife sheaths, just trying to get some inventory made so I have some stuff up there for folks, and ended up tooling up those yesterday. I had a livestock show board meeting yesterday evening, and so I got those put together, and their board meetings are like at 7:30 at night, which kind of drives me crazy because I don't understand why I can't do it at like 6, and that way people can get home or go back to doing what they're wanting to do. But not a big deal for me. It's not even a block from me, and so I just sit in the shop and get caught up on some stuff. So that's what we did. During the sale, too, I just want to make a quick mention. The Lanyard phone wallet came out. Many people have bought this pattern. It seems real popular. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy making it. It is a step-up project, and I realized that a lot when I was editing the video. If you notice, the video, I kept saying it was going to come out early last week, and I had it all pretty well together. I was just doing final edit on that thing. That little project's got a lot of little steps in it, and I can tell on a project when I go to edit the videos because I have to make a lot of cuts and splices in there to try to make sure I've got all the steps in there for you so that you can follow that video through and actually complete the project. I don't want to leave any steps out. And I'm going to be honest, that was probably one of my top 5 hardest videos I've done as far as and it wasn't that it was difficult, or I'm not a professional editor, I'm just doing my thing. But for me, that was one of my harder ones because there was just so many steps in there I had to keep track of. And then once all that was together and there was a complete timeline of all those steps in there to build that, then I had to go in there and voice over all that and then add some music and stuff like that. But it just took me a lot longer than I thought it was going to take me. And then with last week, I had to stay on top of orders. That's our number one priority, is to make sure our stuff goes out to you. And so we were focused on that. And by the time I could get it done was, I think Saturday is when that video came out. And so it's on our YouTube channel. If you hadn't noticed it and you've been waiting for it, it's on there. We did share it on social media. But if you got the pattern and you're wanting to make the Lanyard phone wallet, that video is on our YouTube channel. So you could certainly go check that out. What else are we working on? Working on some saddles. The workshop, I'm going to clean it up today so that it looks nice whenever somebody wants to see the workshop this weekend. Bring them in. We got the outside done. I'm making sure I didn't forget anything before we get up because I'm going to show you the retail floor right quick. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's grab the camera. We're going to go out there and I'm going to show you kind of what we got going on the retail floor. All right, so here Robin spent the last 2 or 3 days rolling all these hoodies and sweatshirts. We had them hanging. If you've been to a show, you've seen our clothes rack. We had them hanging on and stuff, but it takes up a lot of room in our little retail floor. So we went back to rolling them, and it makes it a lot easier, too, for folks to, pick out the size they need and stuff like that. We've got some hanging on display so they can see what the actual hoodies and sweatshirts have on them. But she got all these rolled and organized and got the inventory updated on the website. And also, side note, I have left our merchandise on sale from the Black Friday sale, just kind of as a little Easter egg. Some of y'all have already found that out, but if you've been wanting a t-shirt or a hoodie, caps, they're still discounted, and we're doing that just to kind of move some of this, and that we can get some new colors and some new stuff. So if you have been wanting a hoodie or a sweatshirt, they're still on sale. I don't know when I'll turn them off, but you can certainly go check that out at dgsaddlery.com if you do want to get some merchandise. And then this is where our counter was if you've been here before, and it'll go back there. But for this weekend, we went ahead and rolled out the show bench, the tooling bench that we take to shows to teach with. We went ahead and rolled it out here because instead of just a card table or something to have our stuff out for the wine walk, we went ahead and brought this out here. I think it looks really nice out here. And it makes it so nice being able to roll this thing through any door we need to and roll it around. It's real simple. So we brought it out here during the wine walk. We'll have some cheap wine that you hand out as samples to patrons that walk through on the wine walk. And then we'll have also, we do a big meat and cheese tray from Macker's, which is up in Shiner, and they're a big processor, and they have a lot of good, dried sausage, things like that, and cheeses and stuff. So they do us a big meat tray. So we'll have that out as just kind of snacks for folks. And then over here, we've got our table here with all of our t-shirts and things like that. This will be a new project video, a kind of an update on our round purse. This is a 10-inch. The first one we did years ago was an 8-inch with a very simple gusset system. This is a 10-inch that'll have just a little more complicated, a little more professional gusset in there. And so that'll be coming out maybe by Christmas here, just to kind of sneak one in before the end of the year. But I just kind of wanted to update that. There's another phone wallet. Like I said, I made 2 or 3 of those trying to get the pattern just right. And then over here is just our corner here. We've got, some other bags and some different things just on display. And then got some of our saddles out. There's the one that we took to Sheridan this year in Wichita Falls. And then we've got the wildlife saddle here in the middle of the room on display. People like looking at that. I've got our caps over here. We do have more caps coming. We will put that on social media once they get here. We've got embroidery and patch caps coming in. So when they hit us pretty hard at Wichita Falls and right before the sale. So we have been running really low on caps. And then we move the counter over here. Just if people want to buy something during the mingle, we're over here on this wall and out of the way, because there will be actually a lot of people in here, especially if it's kind of cool. They come in and want to see the shop. So it's quite a few people fill this place during this thing. And then over here we've got just our little display with some knife sheaths and little wallets and things like that. And in this corner, we will put our Christmas tree, and we're still deciding if we want to do a artificial or a real tree. Safety reason, I'll probably do a artificial just to be safe. I don't know. We'll see what we do. But yeah, we've got some decorations up. We've still got some to do. We've got stuff on the floor here that we're still working on, and me and the kids are going to do the tree tomorrow. But that's the retail floor all set up and ready to go for Christmas season and the mingle. So with that being said, we've got the snowman out of storage. We got him out here as well. We're not going to have a lot of snowman updates. Like I said, the way Thanksgiving fell and then the sale with us being busy and just now getting to Christmas decorations, we're only 13 days there from Christmas. And so we may do one next week. Well, we will do one next week. But, I remember the first time we did the snowman updates, we did 3 or 4 or 5 of them. But I told Claudia, I said, next year we're going to have to start doing Christmas earlier. She's just so stuck on her fall decorations. We're going to have to go to the negotiations table and figure out a way to where we can get Christmas and fall together. If she'll accept that, she's so far been against that. She's got to have fall by herself, and so she wants those out, but we can't wait until Thanksgiving. It's got to be earlier, because we got to give y'all updates so that y'all can, get stressed out and freaked out at how close Christmas is getting over an extended period of time, right? So, but don't freak out with this, but we do have 13 days left. With that being said, I would say your last ship date, we always talk about that. I've looked at it, I think next Wednesday, which would be the 18th. Like I said, sorry it's that close, but you've been aware of this. You've been working on your Christmas orders for some time now, but I would say to be safe, depending on where you're shipping something, next Wednesday would be my preferred last ship date. If we were doing custom orders like we used to, I would probably put 18th as my last day. And I would try to have everything I need to ship go out that day. That gives you an ample amount of time after that to finish anything that's a local pickup. But you just want to give yourself at least 7 days or so for that thing to be in the mail or UPS or FedEx truck, whatever it is, in case something happens. Because this time of year is when something will happen. It'll get snagged somewhere. It'll get hung up. It doesn't make it that day or whatever. Now, UPS, I don't know about FedEx, but I know UPS, they do deliver usually on Christmas Eve, but I never accept that. I never use that. I never count on that. In a pinch, we'll try it. But if it doesn't make it New Year's or Christmas Eve and it doesn't get there that day for some reason, that pushes it to the 26th, which is after Christmas. So that's why I don't count that. Try to get everything there at the latest by the 23rd. So that's why I would say Wednesday. If you had to in a pinch and it was going in your state, if it's a one-day ship, you could ship it Friday, but I would aim for Wednesday and be done with it, and that way everything's going to get there, or at least you gave it enough time to where it won't be your fault if it gets hung up somewhere. But there's your snowman update there. 13 days till Christmas. I hope you guys are staying busy in your shop. Don't stress out. Just breathe. Keep working. Everything will get done. I appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to go to dgsaddlery.com and sign up for the Leathercraft newsletter, and we'll see y'all next week in the Monday Morning Briefing.